Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week I take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate some aspect of the race that might lead us into backing the winner. Well, racing on Saturday this week, 11 races, and the first one we're going to take a look at is race 3, where our winning factor is the fresh legs. So this is a class 3 2,000 metres, and there could be arguments made for quite a few in the race. Brave Hearts at the top of the weights, Family Jewel had no luck last start, even Master Trillion and the Old Guys Senior Toba will have some fans. But for me, this race mainly revolves around 1 yard, Tony Cruz, who will saddle up Fallon and Gentleman Legacy. Firstly, let's take a look at Fallon now. This horse, we've seen plenty of him over the last couple of seasons, and he's been in career peak form recently with 2 wins and 2 seconds until last start, blotting his copybook with the run we're about to look at. This is race 706. He's in red and purple colours, gate 8, and Fallon jumps okay, but Ben Thompson steadies him back in midfield off a good pace early. That's his usual style. The tempo steadies mid-race, and we then see Family Jewel, who's in the race on the weekend, work around them. He's having a very tough run. And Fallon also gets shuffled back towards the tail of the field. Once they turn into the home straight, Fallon is again held up as he tries to get going and issue his finish. And eventually he gets right to the outside and picks up. And after his momentum has stopped, he's running on again over the line. So I think you can agree that he's better value from that run than just an 8th placing. Certainly should have finished quite a bit closer. But I think he's going to be given rather a lot to do by his stablemate, Gentleman Legacy. This is him in race 764, gate 6, red and pink colours, and Gentleman Legacy isn't the quickest away here. He takes up a position midfield. He's wide but with some cover, and you can see on the heat map that the pace is average, neither fast nor slow, at least until they get to the 800 metre turn. Now, at that point, the leaders turn up the pace, and a few of the runners in the field are pushed along to sprint with them, and that includes Gentleman Legacy. You can see Alexi Bedell hard at work on him from the 600 or 700 metres into the stretch, but he knuckles down, keeps coming, never really threatening the winner, but coming away from the rest. Now, this guy was quite well explored in his career in Australia, 10 starts there for 3 wins. Certainly didn't look any superstar on the rise, but in racing it's often about being there at the right time and place, and this could be it for him on Saturday. He certainly looks like he's going to appreciate the extra 200 metres. The pace, however, is more problematic. This looks a race in search of a leader. Now, in the replay we saw with Gentleman Legacy, Packing Hurricane got a bump early and got back in the field, but he's often up near the front. Star Contact has raced on the pace over shorter distances, so he also has the pace to be taking up the running over this longer distance if he wants to. We have to assume a slow pace here, I think. Gentleman Legacy was slow to begin in that replay, and I'm mapping him only midfield, but his prior run he had begun better, and with Zach Purton aboard on the weekend, he may well have him further forward. But one thing he does have an edge on his rivals in is freshness. Now, you see on this graphic the field for Saturday's race and the number of starts that they've had. And some of them have won races and they've gone up in the handicaps. Others have just slogged away without getting results. But either way, there's quite a few of them who've had their chances and must be certainly on the way down at this stage of the season, or at the very least, not on the way up. That isn't the case with Gentleman Legacy. He only started his career in Hong Kong last month, and I think he is still getting towards his peak. So the tip in race 3, Gentleman Legacy. His winning factor, the fresh legs. We are at that part of the season where quite a few of the horses will be feeling the pinch after a long campaign, but this guy, he's not only bringing the best form to this race, but he's also had only 3 starts and is still on the rise. The other race I want to take a look at is race 8, where our winning factor is the draw. So the group races are over for the season, but there are certainly some group standard horses here in the fast class race of the day. A small field, but lots of quality, and I think the emphasis here is going to be on 4 runners in particular. A Magic Control dropping back to his preferred distance, Wunderbar back in form last start, Horsepower also putting together a good record, while Beauty Waves has had a change of stable to Tony Cruz. And I'm most interested in Beauty Waves and also Wunderbar, who got back in the winners list at his most recent appearance. This is race 763. He's in gate 1, blue with the yellow cap, and he's a sprinter who's always been a good beginner, as he is here. But he leaves the lead to a few runners who are showing more urgency. But note how he travels very strongly for Hugh Bowman, wants to go faster, even though the pace is pretty fast. He certainly doesn't fully relax at the 1200 metres. Doesn't matter. He's got all the talent to pick up anyway, comes between horses to run to the front and gets another win on the board. Now, of course, Wunderbar's 2 from 2 record against Ka Ying Rising always gets a lot of attention, but that win makes it 7 out of 12 for his career overall, which is also pretty impressive. And he's been good down the straight. He's had 3 starts there, 2 wins and a very close second to Magic Control when conceding that horse weight. On Saturday, he's getting weight from him. So even the way that he travels in that 1200 metre race suggests that coming back to the sharper distance of 1000 metres will really suit Wunderbar. It certainly suits Beauty Waves as well, whose previous trainer, Pierre Ung, has been forced to run him in some unsuitable races. He's of a very high quality, this horse, and not many races for him, so he's been running him over longer distances and he's been quite keen and over racing in those. But his record over 1000 metres is 7 starts for 3 wins and 3 placings, and Tony Cruz at his first run with the horse has managed to find him a 1000 metre race. Now, the last time he was over this distance, we have to go back to New Year's Day, January 1, when he was in the Group 3 Bohemia Sprint. This is race 310. He's in gate 4 in the familiar black and pink beauty colours. And Beauty Waves is last away. He misses the start, while Magic Control, with yellow and brown colours and the white face, he's one of the best out and quickly sharing the front. Now, Hugh Bowman does get Beauty Waves up a couple of lengths behind Magic Control and into his slipstream, ready to pounce, but he's had to do a little extra work to get there and doesn't have the answers when the question comes, still finishing a couple of lengths behind the runner-up in this race, Magic Control. Now he reappears down the straight, a preferred course, and you saw in that replay he was giving £6 there to Magic Control. On Saturday he's getting 7, so that's a big weight swing in his favour, and he also gets the best of the draw. Just a small field, but the pace looks good. Aside from Magic Control, I expect we'll see Stellar Express looking for the front, using his pace and his light handicap, while Full Credit and Wunderbar also have good pace lower in the draw. Beauty Waves, he'll be trailing the leaders, but against the outside rail, and that's where you want to be down this straight course. So the tip from me in race 8, Beauty Waves, his winning factor, the draw. Now, Beauty Waves, he's a horse with some accomplishments down the 1000 metre straight course. Now he comes here fresh with a new trainer. He brings some good form and is very well handicapped, and he also has that great draw against the outside fence. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Saturday. We'll see you next time.